Greetings, shiny happy people. I hope you're all well. This week, I've had a belly full of the crap spoken about Tommy Robinson. Every knuckle-dragging conspiracy freakoid on YouTube has been holding up their hands on horror at the arrest and imprisonment of this man for apparently utilising his right to free speech. But, to sum it up succinctly, they are ill-informed and ridiculous. Let's start with some hard facts about the infamous little Tommy. First off, Tommy Robinson is not even his real name. He's actually called Stephen Yaxley Lennon. He took the name Tommy Robinson from a fellow football hooligan. Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Gotta love the thug life. Not. Robinson is a career criminal. He has convictions stretching back over 15 years. Football-related violence, possession of drugs, multiple assault charges, abusive behaviour, breach of peace, breach of bail conditions, using someone else's passport to travel to the US, conspiracy to commit fraud by misrepresentation, contempt of court. He is a racist, bigoted, self-serving attention seeker who screeches about free speech, yet in actual fact his opinions prove beyond doubt that he doesn't believe in freedom at all. Ban the burqa, deport all immigrants. Tommy surely only believes white Christian folk should have freedom. And his anti-Islamic rhetoric demonises an entire religion. He's clearly too blinded by his bigotry to realise the differences between psychotic Islamic extremists and ordinary law-abiding Muslims. And for those who say, well, think of the children, he was reporting outside the trial of a Muslim paedophile ring. Do you seriously think you would see him making such an effort outside the trial of a white British paedophile ring? Would you bollocks? This has nothing to do with protecting children and everything to do with pushing a racist hate agenda. Now let's move on to Robinson's jailing this week. Let's get one thing very clear. Tommy Boy wasn't jailed for his views, he was jailed for his actions, same as anyone doing what he did would be. The Contempt of Court Act 1981 is there to ensure defendants receive a fair trial without interference that may cause prejudice by influencing a juror's opinion. In the UK, everyone is entitled to a fair trial, and Robinson was arrested not because of what he said, but because of when and how he did it. The arrest was about protecting the English justice system and was fuck all to do with suppressing freedom of speech. And guess what? These same rules applied when it came to Robinson's case reporting restrictions. No government cover-up, no Nazi-like bullshit, just the same protection of justice that everyone else gets. It was simply unfortunate that this enforcement of legislation allowed every alt-right nutjob to twist and warp the facts. But then, we should not be at all surprised, as warping facts is a modus operandi of the terminally underdeveloped. Tommy Robinson knew exactly what he was doing, as he was already on a suspended sentence for doing the same thing. He'd been convicted under the Criminal Justice Act 1925, which prohibits taking or publishing pictures of people involved in trials. He chose to do this, knowing full well the law of the land and the consequences for him if he broke the law. His actions may well have resulted in a case collapsing and the defendants walking free, or a retrial costing the British taxpayer hundreds of thousands of pounds. Prejudicing a court case is not exercising the right to free speech. It's being an attention-seeking dickhead. So to sum this up, there was no abnormal press blackout, no suppression of free speech, no government plot to silence Tommy Boy. He is not a hero or a martyr. He's a narcissistic, bigoted criminal fuckwad. He sends threatening messages to individuals and organisations who oppose his views. He's a thug with an audience of twisted ignoramuses. He pushes conspiracy theories about the mainstream media and the political and justice systems and blatantly ignores facts, statistics and records. And to anyone who thinks it's harmless to spout bigoted crap, just remember the murder of Joe Cox. An extremist is an extremist, and in reality the actions of one has naff all to do with religion or race and everything to do with psychosis and insanity. And it's asshats like Robinson that feed and fuel these lunatics. It should also be noted that Robinson is also under police investigation for claims that his Facebook videos risked collapsing the trial of the Finsbury Park mosque terrorist Darren Osborne. Osborne was, of course, a big fan of Robinson and his racist views. Tommy Robinson is not a journalist. He's a chav with a camera. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.